Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest and most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and on occasion, make fun of them. Today, going to go over a story titled, My Fiancé and I Agreed to Have an Open Relationship a Year Ago, but I want to close it because I suspect he is secretly forming an emotional relationship with one woman he's been having relations with. And guys, this story is obviously written by a woman, and she's upset because her guy is getting close to one of the gals he's having relations with because they're having an open relationship. Now, here's the interesting thing, guys. They're both engaged to be married. So why on earth do they need to have an open relationship? What does that say of the status, the state of their relationship? Not a very good contender to get married, right? But here's the thing, guys. This whole story, what she's doing here, she is playing the victim card, okay? She's going to make it out to be that he's the bad guy and she's the victim here of this whole thing, and poor her and boo-hoo and blah, 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 which, guys, is complete BS, okay? Now, by the way, normally I get right to the story, but this deserves commentary. I've done countless stories about this particular subject on my other channel, multiple videos which many of you guys have seen, which, by the way, this is a new story in case any of you guys are wondering this. And every time there's a situation about a open marriage, open relationship, whatever it is always the woman's idea, not the guy. And the guys go along with it reluctantly out of fear that if they don't, that their wives or fiancés or girlfriends will break up with them. Okay? And it's weak on their part, absolutely, but they go along with this. The girl immediately has guys just like this because she probably had them lined up anyway. The guy, on the other hand, takes him a while, but eventually he starts seeing other gals and usually finds one that he really likes that only wants him, doesn't want an open relationship. And then when the woman who initiates this finds out, she freaks and wants to close it and plays the victim card every single time. And that's what's going on here. And you're going to see how I'm able to connect the dots and read between the lines to show you that this is once again here. But it's unbelievable, the victim playing going on here. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to get right into it now, and you're going to see what I mean. And I got to tell you guys, my BS detector is very finely tuned this morning, so I'll be pointing these things out along the way. Starts off, my fiance and I agreed to an open relationship last year. He's 30 and I'm 28. We agreed the rules would be that we could sleep with others, but we would only have an emotional relationship with each other. We are due to marry this summer. So I'm thinking what a lot of you are thinking. If there's a need to have an open relationship, why the hell are they getting married? What's the point? Seriously. Unless somebody else has an idea. And by the way, she's 28. And I'm going to come back to that very important number momentarily. And by the way, she says, we agreed open relationship. Bull crap. I guarantee it was her idea, and he probably felt he was going to lose her, so he went along with it reluctantly. But she's saying, we agreed. I've decided that I no longer wish to continue and want to close the relationship because I feel that it's affecting our relationship. I'm still determining how to do this. Oh, you mean you were fine with the terms of this open relationship as long as you were getting lots of sausage from other guys, but the second this guy found a girl that actually liked him and wanted him for him and only him, then you want to close it. That's a bit selfish. I've had purely S-word relationships with 4 men, and that was it, and that was it. Nothing more. Oh, okay, only 4 guys. Now, I'm wondering, I gotta be honest, I'm wondering, at the same time, is she taking 4 sausages at the same time? I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking this. He was having you-know-what with around 4 or 5 women, but there was nothing more to it as a result of you wanting the open relationship. I have now discovered that he has been sleeping with just one woman for at least 3 months. After some snooping over a day or two, I have found evidence that he's meeting her for evenings out and lunch. He WhatsApps her daily. He is emotionally involved. I'm still unsure to what extent, but I am furious because I have now found that he is taking her on a work trip with him. He never said he was not traveling alone. So now things aren't going in the direction that she wanted because she could just so easily hook up with other dudes left and right and not get close because this was her idea. But this guy is actually finding someone that he clicks with, and as you're going to see, wants him and doesn't want to have multiple dudes. So is any wonder, as you're going to see, he's getting close to her. But she doesn't like this. This is breaking the rules she dictated. I have to put a stop to this before it happens. I want him to end it with her. I've had enough. You've had enough? How do I confront him? He's violated what we've agreed on, and we must stop. I don't want to marry him knowing he's emotionally attracted to another woman. We promised each other that we would put each other first. This is the end of the first story. I'm going to get into the long update in a moment. So let's review. She's 28, almost on the way to 30. 30 is a very scary number to most women, because that's the age they think if they're not married or on the way to the altar, that they're a big giant loser, which is ridiculous, but that's how women think. So if this doesn't go through, she's got to start back to square one. But right now, she had her cake and could eat it too. Engaged, on the way to be married, which so many gals want, because they can say they had their magical day and get that ring on their finger and be the center of attention and be a missus and find a source of resources, I might add. But now she gets to say, hey, I can also have open relationship and get as much sausage for as many guys as I want, and got this guy to go along with it. But problem, red alert, he found someone that wants him, so I'm going to close it now and I'm going to play the victim card. It doesn't work that way. So now I'm going to go into the update to see when she confronts the guy and how this goes. And many of you guys are going to get a laugh out of this. She says, he went to her place on Friday after work and said he'll return on Saturday. However, he informed, I skipped a part. Let me go back, guys. It says the problems in my relationship with my fiance in a thread on Friday. A day or so after discovering my fiance's emotional affair with a woman he initially had a relationship with, or an S-word relationship with. We have had an open relationship since last year, although initially we were exclusive. That was a little synopsis of what happened before. It goes on, he went to her place on Friday after work and said he'll return on Saturday. However, he informed me on Saturday he'll return on Sunday. I asked him why, and he said that this woman was ill and had a migraine coming on. So he wanted to ensure that she was fine before he left her place. I told him that I knew he was bullshitting and making excuses, as she doesn't need him to hang around and help her recover from a migraine. He said he was not lying and that she was truly unwell. He promised to return by Sunday afternoon, which he did. I told him soon after that I knew what he was up to. I knew all that was going on and the extent of his romantic relationship with her, which we both agreed was off limits. You agreed. That was your terms, lady, because you didn't want any chance of losing your guy, your meal ticket, and the dude that was going to take you to get married, so you can, get to the big 3-0 and have a husband, so you don't feel like a loser, because that's a lot of women think they are if they don't get married by 30. She said, we were only allowed to have S-word partners and no emotional relationships with others. Well, this goes to show you, obviously, how cold she is, because she can just have dudes like that and develop no attachments. But this guy is obviously different. And it was her cold personality that caused this to happen in the first place. He was somewhat surprised that I knew the details about his trips and evenings out with her. And I admitted to him that I had, in fact, looked at his email and WhatsApp messages. So she's playing a detective. He was furious and refused to talk further. But then I told him I knew he was hiding something and I needed to know what he was up to. He calmed down and then came up to me and told me that he had been thinking about us and had come to the conclusion that he did not want to marry me. Here we go with the waterworks. I asked him if he was calling off the engagement. He said he was done with the relationship altogether. Good for him. Why would you want to get married to a woman that wanted to have an open relationship with you before you got married? I still want to marry you, but I want to get as much sausage as I possibly can before, I walk down that aisle. You think any guy is going to want his lady, the girl he's going to marry, to go through that? No guy in his right mind. Now, this guy obviously was weak because he went along with this, and you're going to see this wasn't his idea to begin with, which guys should never do. If your gal, guys, you're watching this, wherever you are in the world, wants an open relationship, open marriage, it's done. Okay, don't even bother going along with this. It's done. And she's not going to just stop. It's going to continue. And her level of respect for you, which is low, by the way, will get worse and worse. After arguing about this and his cheating, she's calling him a cheater, he admitted that his decision was linked to his relationship with this woman. He said that he was indeed in love with her now and accepted that he had cut out all S-word partners because he was emotionally involved with her. He didn't want anybody else. He just wanted someone that actually wanted to be with him and only him. And that treated him great, not like this girl that he's engaged to. He even went to the extent of saying that he felt very loved with her, and that it meant the world to him that he was the only man in her life, and she was fully and completely focused on him. Ding, ding, ding. Translation, he didn't want this open relationship. He went along with it against his wishes, but he was weak, but fine. But now he met a gal that actually really digs and connects with, and she wants to be with him, at least so he thinks. So he's done. And this woman's actually playing the victim here. You know the old joke about gals and accountability. He added that he wanted to be able to reciprocate and had therefore decided that he was going to do just that and commit to her. I said I wanted to close the relationship and be only with him, and that I had realized that the open relationship was not working for us. The open relationship was working just fine for her until her guy met someone else. That's how all these stories go. Every one of them. The guy goes along with it, eventually meets someone else that's really great to him, and then the woman who has the idea for this has a panic attack, plays the victim every time. Every time. You can set your watch to it. He said no because he felt unable to end his relationship with her, and they simply did not care to try with me anymore as everything had changed far too much. Exactly. I reminded him that he agreed to open the relationship and was sleeping with several women. He agreed reluctantly. He didn't want to do this. Now he was blaming me for what was mutually agreed. Look how she's twisting things around. Look how she's twisting it, making him the bad guy. Unbelievable. He said he wasn't blaming anyone and that he thought it would work out fine, but after a while it all started feeling empty and he felt pathetic sleeping around with others. He said it felt meaningless and that he felt like crap. Right, because he didn't want that. He realized that it was the wrong decision. He should have went along with it. He found someone else that would work for him, that he felt close to, wouldn't want an open relationship, and he wanted to be with her. I mean, it's amazing that guys go along with this, but seriously. He said he didn't want a life like that, and he wanted and preferred complete commitment. He did not apologize for his decision and emotionally cheating behind my back. Unbelievable. I told him that he was ending years of commitment and an engagement for a 3-month fling, and he snapped that it wasn't a fling. No, it wasn't a fling. He was finding somebody else that was better. Years of commitment, my butt. You think there's going to be commitment in the marriage from this woman if he went along with this? Hell no. I couldn't believe he was speaking this way, very cold and indifferent towards me. Well, he couldn't believe that you wanted to have an open marriage and have a sausage fest after years of commitment and being engaged to be married. And you're playing the victim? He didn't outright say it, but he was seriously considering moving in with her only after 3 months. Well, that's dumb. I feel devastated by the way he spoke to me and has left me feeling empty. I don't know whether to wait for him to wake up and see that he's rushing this relationship with her and abruptly walking out of our life and home together, or to let him go and see if he's ever coming back to me. Lady, he is never coming back to you. Not a chance in hell. And look at the boo-hoos. I hear the world's smallest violin going right now as she's doing this. I can picture the crocodile tears and the waterworks and all that. This is your fault. Own it. Accept it. I know that pushing him will serve little purpose, as he is determined to stay with her for now. What do I even do? I feel too shocked and confused to react to anything, and spent the entire night awake, trying to work out what happens now. We were due to marry later this year. I can't even bear to think about canceling, and we'd planned for our future, and telling people that it's off. I have so much on my mind, and I'm struggling to cope. Boo-hoo. You make your bed, you lie in it. And believe me, she lied, obviously, in a lot of beds. And you think she's going to tell people what really went on? Oh, hell no. They're going to get the most twisted version of the story you can imagine, making him the bad guy. Mark my words. You think she's not going to say, I told him I wanted an open marriage. I wanted to hook up as many dudes as I can before we said I do. And guess what? He went with it reluctantly, met another girl who didn't want to do that, and he left me for her. Do you think she's going to say that? No. Oh, hell no. Should I be telling the other women that he was engaged? I'm not sure if she is aware of it. I guarantee this girl is aware that he's engaged and did this thing, and now, says, hey, you deserve better, and she's treating him better. But knows she wants to sabotage his relationship. Now, that is the end of her thing, guys. And I'm now going to read some comments. And in the comment section, believe me, people were just eviscerating her and completely calling out on BS. So I'm going to read these. You guys will find this entertaining because this is warranted. This guy's obviously a good guy, didn't deserve this. One guy says, How does it make you feel to think about him taking this woman out for a romantic candlelight meal, full of sweet, tender moments? Does it make you feel sick to your stomach, heartbroken? Because when you implied he's not enough for you by asking to F other guys, that's how he felt. Right. From a purely rational perspective, he was better off finding someone and staying with you by saying yes because you also implied there was someone in your mind you wanted to sleep with, which I haven't seen you say it in either thread. No, it's not the most ethical way, but that's the best way for him, and you made it clear an open relationship is what was best for you because you'd done it before, so he felt like it was the correct thing to do. Right. You also never were there emotionally for him despite you saying no emotional attachments allowed outside your relationship. So he found someone else who, in his own words, had him as the only man in his life. Right. You can't do anything to get him back, and you shouldn't, because your selfishness and neglect led you to this. And he, while not blameless, is much less at fault than you are. This guy isn't at fault. No way. Let him leave and be happy, and don't try to contact the other woman, because she definitely is closer to him than you are now. Right. It's over. Move on. Learn from your experiences. You're a selfish a-hole. You got what you deserve. Another guy says, you opened the relationship, yet you don't seem to feel at all responsible for its failure. You know the old joke about accountability. You want to blame him because he didn't follow some unenforceable agreement you had. You want to deflect blame so badly, you are willing to go and tell his other woman what you think. For what? Because if I can't have him, nobody can have him. That's why. You sent your love, a man you're willing to marry, out into the world, and then you're surprised when someone else finds him as wonderful as you do. You weren't robbed. Someone took what you were willing to throw away so you could sleep with other people. You knew that risk existed. You can't ask for commitment from someone when you haven't made anything resembling a commitment yourself. Exactly. Completely wants to have her cake and eat it too situation. Selfish jerk. That's what she is. People need to feel valued in a committed relationship, some exclusivity. A marriage without that means you share the bills and household chores. That isn't love. That's another contract set up for failure. Your philosophy on a relationship just doesn't work for very many people, and you knew that as well. Right. And the final comment, eviscerating her. I don't understand what you're complaining about, though. You are the architect of the situation, all by yourself. Unfortunately for you, you're not a skilled architect, and as such, everything is collapsing. You want an open relationship for you, as evidenced in your comments. You said it worked well for you before. Well, for you, sure, but since all the other guys are now your exes, you can see how the open relationship thing never really worked. So obviously, she was commenting on people's questions in the comment sections, and more was revealed. So a lot of these dudes she was having open relationships with were exes, and it didn't work out. So she's done this before, apparently. It was always a selfish request, all for you. I doubt there was any talk about rules, boundaries, prioritizing your partner over a random hookup, and so on. Your fiancé here said yes to your proposal because most likely he had no idea how to react. Right. And he was obviously probably shocked by this and also was fearful of losing her. It went well for you because all you really cared about was that you got to sleep with other guys. It backfired because your fiancé was not a doormat and found partners of his own. Guys, any remotely good-looking woman can literally hold up a sign that says free you-know-what and have dudes lined up for multiple city blocks. Okay? It's easy for them for just hooking up purposes, and that's what she wanted. For a guy, he can't just hold up a sign that says free this. It's going to be a lot harder unless he's a really good-looking dude, a lot of status, got money, resources, probably right in front of his Ferrari or something. Then he'll get some people lining up. But other than that, your average Joe, no way. She knew this. But the guy continued and eventually started dating other women, having fun, but probably looking for someone that did want to commit to him. He continues, your relationship is now dead, no matter what you will try. We recently had a girl who offed her 6-year relationship because she asked for a 3-way. In your case, it went above and beyond. I see you're desperate to break his new relationship, wanting to contact his new partner. It will backfire, and since he has already checked out, it will not bring him back. It will just reinforce his withdrawal from you. Exactly. The situation is of your design, now you have to live with it. To me, it seems like a lost cause for you, as a lost cause as far as you are concerned. He is taking his new partner on work trips and seems far more involved with her than you. He is done with you. His message is clear. You need to let go. The relationship is done. In the previous post, you said you promised to put each other first. How do you do that when you are sleeping around, both of you, destined to fail from the start? So there you go. These are long comments, but the point is, it isn't just me thinking this. So to summarize, guys, this was her idea. Okay, even though she's playing the victim here, just like in countless other stories I've read and done videos on my other channel. And every time when it doesn't go their way, the gals freak out. They want to close the relationship, play the victim card, and meanwhile, the guy's done with her. End of story. Because what guy wants to be in a relationship, let alone a marriage, even though I don't think marriage is a very good idea in 2021 going forward, with a woman that wants to do that? She doesn't love him. Come on. And the only way this may work is if both of them are really, before they got together, were into, let's just say, alternative lifestyle, so to speak. The Sodom and Gomorrah lifestyle, and they were both wanting to have something open while they're together. Some people that works, but clearly that wasn't the case. And she knew she knew when she probably proposed this idea that this guy would go along with this reluctantly, and she would make out, at least come out on top. Well, she was on top a lot, obviously. And better, but she didn't expect that he would find someone that would really want to be with him and would leave her. So backfire. But anyhow, guys, this is a common story. This is a common situation that goes around. This is why I do this type of story every so often, to show you guys the Sodom and Gomorrah world we're in right now, because it's completely warped, and to let you guys always think twice before you get too serious, and always pay attention to the red flags out there, because if you come across, you have a girlfriend or fiance or wife that wants to do this, it's over. Okay, it's done. Move on. So, anyhow, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you ever come across a crazy story, something crazy, outrageous, very entertaining, send it over. If it definitely works, I will certainly cover it in a future video. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.